Good evening and welcome. I'd like to call the meeting of the June 26, 2024 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. This meeting is being broadcast live on BNC TV and live streamed on YouTube. To find BNC TV on YouTube, go to youtube.com and search for Bernardston-Northfield Community Television. This meeting will be available for later viewing by following the link at townofbernardston.org. You can also watch channel 1075 on your Comcast dial in Bernardston. First order of business is the warrants. I would entertain a motion for the payroll warrant in the amount of $67,404.31.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would entertain a motion for the vendor warrant for fiscal year 2024 of $658,128.80.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, this is the major portion of it, $608,253.13 is the regional school assessment. So a significant chunk of the total amount. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And lastly, there is a subsequent warrant for expenses for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $237,318.55. I would entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, there's two large pieces of that $237,000. One is $149,603.00 for the Franklin Regional Retirement System and $51,003.00 for the MIIA, which is our property liability insurance. So those bills, we're approving the warrant tonight. They're going to be paid out on July 1st. Okay, moving on to meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion for the regular meeting minutes of June 12th, 2024. I'll be all right.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any corrections, deletions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, calendar and announcements. The Board of Health is having a meeting on Thursday, June 27th at 3:30 p.m. at Town Hall. The Green Committee is having a meeting on Thursday, June 27th at 6 p.m. at Town Hall. Just a note that the town offices will be closed on Thursday, July 4th in observance of the Independence Day. Normal business hours will resume on Monday, July 8th. That's because we're closed on Fridays. The Bernardston Bridge replacement, Route 10 over Fall River, and deck replacement, Route 10 over I-91. There will be a live virtual design public hearing will take place on Wednesday, July 17th, so we're giving you plenty of notice, 2024 at 6 p.m. For more information on how to register for the meeting, go to the town website at townofbernardston.org. So that's the bridge that crosses over 91 and the Fall River. They're going to have some significant work done there, and they're going to close down one of the lanes and some of the sidewalks temporarily. So there's a lot of work to be done. So if you want a heads up as to what's going on, listen in on that virtual design public hearing.
It's a 3-year project, so it's a long one.
Yeah. Citizens' concerns, do we have any? None? Okay. Appointments, Brendan Grover, and he's not here yet, so we're going to kick that down the road until we're going to have Jennifer Reynolds please come up. Jennifer Reynolds is our Council on Aging Director, and she's here to talk to us about I Am Still Here 2024 Innovative Program Grant. It's all yours.
So I actually got 3 more grants in, so I have 4 to talk to you about.
Sounds good.
The I'm Still Here Innovation Grant is a private foundation that issues grants for innovative approaches to age and dementia-friendly projects. So I applied to do a age and dementia-friendly business and community education initiative. So what that's going to entail is going out to well, first of all, I'll be partnering with the Chamber of Commerce. I've met with Jessie Dean, and she's gonna introduce this program that I'm creating to give helpful ideas and training to businesses in Franklin County on how to have an awareness about aging and dementia. There's a little piece to it where we're making recommendations on lighting, maybe larger font on restaurant menus. We can give out ideas, bigger than that. So there's low cost, no cost ideas. There's zero compliance. It's just about getting education out there to make spaces more age and dementia friendly for people. Riding on that coattail of that, I also applied for that same grant with the Mass Council on Aging, and they awarded it to me also. So now I have $15,000 to go out and do
Great,
this
Karen.
training. So I'm gonna try to hire somebody. I don't know how easy that's gonna happen. It won't be a town employee. I mean, they'll be paid through the town, but it'll be grant funded at 6 hours a week, $20 an hour. I've reached out to GCC and UMass trying to find maybe a nursing student or somebody in community health. I haven't heard back yet, but they're all on vacation, I'm assuming, so.
Right.
Plus I have to create the program before we go forward. I'll be partnering with Dementia Friendly Massachusetts. I've been working closely with Meg Ryan from FERCOG, the Alzheimer's Association. So I won't have to recreate the wheel. I just want to tailor it to Franklin County. We're a lot different out here than Boston. Boston has done this, so I've been looking at their program also. So I'm going to take a little bit of everybody and put it all together and try to deploy it around here.
Great.
6 hours a week, $20 an hour, comes out to $120 a week. That's going to be a long time before you spend the $15,000.
Right, so there's a lot of print material that I'm going to need,
Okay.
handouts, things of that nature, and then we're hoping to make like a little certificate, so every business that takes this training will have a little certificate that they can display.
And how are they going to hear about this program?
Through the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So she's going to introduce it. She has monthly meetings with all the businesses. I've been to a couple just to see what they're all about, and they're very well attended, and there's a lot
Yes.
of progressive businesses that want to do better. So she felt she would have some good leads on there. I did ask for the wages, payroll taxes, travel reimbursement, supplies and printing, and a phone. So that's basically what the budget's going to be spent on.
Okay.
And
The money comes in and then you get to spend it, or?
yeah, well, with the I'm Still Here, they give me the money up front. The Mass Council on Aging, it's reimbursed.
Okay.
So, and what else can I tell you on that?
Is it a 50/50?
We have no match on
No,
it.
I mean, between the private agency and Mass Council.
No, the I'm Still Here is 5,000 and the Mass Council on Aging is 10,000. And we have no match, so it's
Perfect.
great money.
Good.
Yeah. I did get 2 other grants from the Mass Council on Aging. These are I'm really excited about these. One is called Wellness Wednesdays. It's to develop and implement outreach programs. So we're going to be partnering with the Leiden COA, and essentially what we're going to get is $10,000 on that one. It'll be spent on therapeutic Reiki for our clients for free. We're also going to be partnering with Stony B Acres. They're going to do some therapeutic horseback stuff. They don't necessarily have to ride, but even if they want to come interact or whatever
Right.
level they're comfortable at. And then the third piece will be to fund food for our men's group. Matt's been running the successful men's group.
Yeah.
So maybe they can go out to dinner or lunch or...
They're big eaters.
Yeah, yeah, that seems to be the big draw, food.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
they go for a walk it off, right?
Yeah.
and again, there's no match on that.
Perfect.
We have to pay it out ahead of time and then they reimburse us. And then my favorite grant, I'm so excited, is other innovative programming. So there's new research that AARP has come out about video gaming for seniors and how
Really?
it sharpens their minds. And so we are going to be getting the PGA Golf Plus virtual golf, and people can go golfing at Pebble Beach or, you know, all the hot spot golf courses. And we'll be getting Xbox with games. We're getting 2 Xboxes so people can borrow one and take it home, play with their grandkids. We're also getting 2 Wiis with games. We're getting a 55-inch TV, a game chair, a no slip mat, a media cart and cabinet, and a TV mounting bracket. But I know the golf's going to be huge because we have a lot of men that play cribbage in the winter and then they are gone in the summer because they're golfing. But if I have this game, it's kind of like Top Golf.
Right.
It's $1,000 game. It's not cheap.
That's very sexist of you. The LPGA is very competitive.
Well, we do have a few female golfers, but mostly men.
Okay.
So,
That's great.
So add the numbers again for me. 10,
so
5.
that is 28,600.
Nice.
And the MCOA, I gotta wait on Healy to sign the budget. And we talked to
Ann Goby.
Ann Govey, the rural.
She's a good one.
I strongly encourage push
She
the
visited
pen.
yesterday.
Push the pen on that budget.
Good.
So
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
No matches, so
Yeah.
it's all to us.
yeah,
Okay.
Nice
Very
job.
good.
yeah.
Thanks for finding all those and
Yeah.
doing all the footwork.
And if you want to play golf,
Where are you gonna put the dogs?
I'm not sure yet. It might be downstairs somewhere. So we have our pantry room. I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
I did bid the media cart so we can move the TV around. So, you know, if the upstairs is available, we'll use the upstairs. But we'll be able to tuck it away somewhere because I'm getting one of those roller carts. So we don't have
That
to
was
mount
a
it.
good move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's been very cool.
Thank you.
Great.
Interesting.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jen.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Jen.
So we're still waiting on Brandon Grover, correct? He's not around the
I
corner?
don't know.
You'll let me know when he is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
still
next
trying
up would then
to get to
be
that. Yeah.
Tom Sullivan and Megan Zuzinski. Are they here?
Yeah.
They're not here yet. Okay, we're gonna,
Matt frantically looking.
Yeah, so we'll
Okay.
go, we can roll.
all right, we're gonna go with Randy Crozier then. Community Public Health Services, FR COG. Randy, there you
Come on
go.
up.
I'm just going to make one change. It's actually the Cooperative Public Health Service.
Cooperative Public Health Service.
We're not about community, but we are about community.
Cooperative,
So I am
Pub-
here
go
basically,
ahead.
I had sent you folks a letter. The Board of Health had asked me to review the septic design at Country Estates. So I sent a 4-page recommendation. I'm here to answer questions if you have them.
do we have questions?
I don't.
Go
Come on
ahead.
up to the table if you
Yes,
get-
please, and identify yourself.
Hi, I'm Ann Wagner. I'm president of the Bernardston Country Estates.
Ah, good.
There was discussion about the deed. And the deed currently does not say that we are a 55-plus mobile home park. And we hadn't done it for years and years because the requirement was quite more involved than it is now. The new federal guidelines, we are well within the guidelines, and we are working on all our park documents, if you'd like to take a look, of renaming everything. There is a problem with doing the deed, and I haven't heard back from Donna McNichol yet, so I don't know how big of a problem is. But to do this whole process, which, you know how much we did, we had to get a gap loan to cover expenses. So we got the gap loan from Communities Unlimited. They have put a lien on all of our assets, of course, because of the $200,000 gap loan. One of those is also the deed. So I have asked Donna to find out if we can make a change to the deed before we pay off the loan, which I don't think we're going to be able to. So we have the money, we have it. So in order for that to happen, we would have to pay off the loan, to change the deed, to get another loan, to pay off the engineer. So it's kind of a vicious circle because we've already used some of the loan gap money to pay part of the engineer already for the septic design. He's probably got about $75,000 of that so far. So my question to Mr. Crozier was, does all of this have to be in place prior to breaking ground? Or can it be in the process of?
So my answer officially is I do not serve Bernardston for the Title V work. I was asked by the Board of Health to weigh in on this plan. If I was making the decision, I would not issue this permit until the deed was filed, mainly because you're talking the difference between a 5,700 gallon a day system and an 11,400 gallon a day system, which also triggers at 10,000 gallons a day. Bernardston is no longer the approving authority, DPH is. So you've got so many other, much like the whole process with that, you have so many balls in the air that it gets ugly if it ends up having to be the 300 gallons per day per site that a family mobile home park requires.
We couldn't put a system like that in our park, we just don't own enough land. So that would never be that we would take a smaller one to accompany us. Everybody in the park is over 55 already except for one trailer, and the federal regulation requires a 80-20, which would mean 30 trailers would have to have 55 or over, and we're at 37 out of 38. Brian McHugh reached out and he told me that he didn't know, that nobody ever said we weren't. It was always going to be set up for a 55 plus. So I don't know. I mean, if this doesn't happen now, we have already lost tens of thousands of dollars. And that was just the requirement of the GAP loan.
So how can we help?
Well, if we can make this still happen.
Well, I think the Board of Health in Bernardston is an elected board. They have to follow their state guidelines. That decision on whether they can issue the permit, Randy can correct me if I'm wrong, is going to fall to the Board of Health. We have no influence over
Okay,
that.
so we're not going to get a permit?
Again, I don't issue permits for Bernardston. Bernardston Board of Health meets at 3.
3:30 tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
I am actually
We
off
couldn't
one
get
of
that
the
meeting before this meeting,
Yeah,
so
and that's
it's a little
fine.
backwards, but yes.
Is Brian going to be there? Do you know?
I don't know.
No.
I know I'm coming even though it's my day off. But
Oh, that's very sweet.
you have a big project. It's a very important project.
It is, and I mean, we are
It's
willing to do, you know.
It's disappointing that the engineer missed that deed, that's
Yeah.
all. I mean, and it's yours is not the first case like this, unfortunately, but it happens in private homes and in much smaller systems.
Yeah.
So we can present this to the Board of Health tomorrow at 3:30, and hopefully you're gonna come then, right?
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
there tomorrow.
And let's have this conversation with them.
Yep.
As the Board of Health clerk.
We,
Anyway.
as this board, we've supported this project for a few years.
I know.
We lost the money once.
Yeah.
We got the money back. So we've done what we can do as
Right.
part of it. We just don't have the authority to overrule the Board of Health.
And I would say I fully support the project as well.
Yeah.
I understand your frustration. Again, I don't serve Bernardston technically for
Right.
Title V. I reviewed that plan. You've seen the plan, I'm sure. It's that big roll that's over there, 18
Yeah.
pages. I spent hours of my own time reviewing that. I am here tonight missing a Board of Health meeting to a town that I serve that has a major problem going on because this project is important to Bernardston, to the Bernardston Board of Health and
Right.
the town. So, and
Okay. All right.
That's a huge number of residents. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
big deal.
We're at 58, 57 right now.
Right.
So,
So good luck.
take that.
Yes.
So can I ask a question? I'm confused. So the Board of Health can issue a permit for them to go ahead as a senior park?
that would be up to the Bernardston Board of Health to determine whether they'd be willing to do that. What happens is in Title V, do not quote me, 310 CMR 15, I think it's section 203, gives design criteria. And under that, if you look at a house, it's going to say 110 gallons per day per bedroom. If you look at a restaurant, it's going to be 35 gallons per day per seat. If you look at a trailer park, it's going to say retirement trailer park, 150 gallons per day per site. That is what they used in this plan. If it's a family trailer park, then it's a 300 gallon per day per site.
Big difference.
Double the difference. And I agree, I don't believe they have the land to put a 300 gallon a day, which would also then mean advanced treatments and other things and just astronomically blow the price out of the water. But you also have 38 homeowners that are gonna have to make the decision as to whether they want to put that restriction on their trailer as a park. I mean, it wouldn't be each individual trailer. Which is part of the reason why I would not be signing that construction permit, because it's still up in the air.
So each homeowner has to decide that if their trailer is a senior.
I don't know, the park has to, but I assume their bylaws are that the owners of the trailers are gonna vote on this.
That's correct.
The park just cannot generically file a new deed that says, you shall be this.
Right.
There might be families up there that think they're going to leave this thing to their child.
I always thought it was, and I thought they had bylaws that said it was. In fact, I remember one family getting permission for a child to live with them. So I'm
Thank you.
I'm totally confused and surprised.
All right, good luck.
Thank
Please keep us in the loop.
you. We, oh, I will.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I will take another look. Mr. Chairman, can we hold off till the end of the meeting?
Absolutely, we can revisit it if they do come. All right, so let's move on with new business. Fiscal year 25 memorandums of understanding, MOU, Franklin County Solid Waste Management District. There are three FY25 memorandums of understanding between the town of Bernardston and the Franklin County Solid Waste Management District. Number one, MOU number one. Whereas the town hereby requests that the district initiate a regional household hazardous waste collection event on Saturday, September 21st, 2024. There will be two sites operating concurrently on the collection day, one at Greenfield Community College and the other at the Orange Transfer Station. The town will be charged its proportional share of $900 for the collection based upon the administrative expenses, the number of participants in the town, and the volume of hazardous waste received from town residents. The fee of $900 is the same fee as last year. So that's MOU number one. MOU number two, whereas the district issued an invitation for bid, IFB, for hauling services for recyclables and solid waste from the Bernardston Transfer Station, and the district negotiated contracts for the hauling and disposal services based upon a review of the IFB responses. In FY25, recycling has increased by $47,000.
$4,700.
Sorry?
$47.
$47.
What did I say?
$4,700.
Oh, I'm sorry. $47. Trash hauling has increased by $23. Bulky waste has increased by $61, and scrap metal has increased by $14. FY25 administrative fees have increased by $150. So that's MOU number two. And finally, MOU number three. Whereas the town is a member of the Franklin County Solid Waste Management District, and the town operates a permitted transfer station to be inspected yearly by a third party, and the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, the DEP, has authorized the district to serve as the third party. I would entertain a motion to accept the three memorandums of understanding as written between the Franklin County Solid Waste Management District and the town of Bernardston, and agree to the terms and conditions that will remain in effect from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Well,
Yes, Tom Newton.
yes, Tom knew. So you're saying that the town is gonna pay $900 so that anyone in town can bring their hazardous waste to the disposal site? Is that what you're saying?
That is correct.
We do that annually too.
Yeah.
It's nothing new.
And that's for one day?
Yep.
That's correct.
Yep.
Go
And
ahead.
it's proportional to how many, if nobody from Bernardston goes, I assume it's. If nobody from Bernardston goes, then what? You still pay the $900?
Yes.
Right.
They have to set the thing up, they have to have it appropriately staffed, yes. We're tiny compared to some of the other towns
Right.
listed.
Why do we not have someone here? We used to have waste collection here.
This is for the other waste that we never could do within our waste stream at the transfer station.
Such as,
Oil.
Oil we don't do anymore, paints, certain pesticides. If somebody were to find arsenic or DDT in their
Yeah.
garage or cellar still, because that's still pretty prevalent in older homes. Things like that we couldn't do in the past anyway.
These are all Tom's charges. So there's Burns.
So if you eyeball Deerfield, you'll see quite a significant.
thank you.
Yep.
Just a question.
Yep.
Yeah. Seems like an awful expense.
It is, but you gotta get rid of this stuff and you gotta do it legally. If we don't participate in this, then people are gonna do what we don't want them to do, which is dispose of it improperly.
Is there a way that we could store this waste so that we could only bring these materials every other year rather than paying the $900?
Through that annual inspection that the DEP requires us to do at a transfer station, it's not allowed under our current license.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All good questions, we
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Just like brush over there, we can't store brush there more than a certain number of days. It has to be moved, because it's not within our license.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? If not, I'd call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty. The next topic would be a proposed gift of personal property to the town. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53A and 1/2, acceptance of gifts of tangible personal property with the approval of the Select Board may, at its sole discretion and authority, accept gifts of tangible personal property on behalf of the town from an individual. Ms. Cindy, help me here. Take your best guess. Fedician.
Yeah.
I
Mrs. F.
am butchering this name and I do apologize to Cindy.
Yes.
Would like to gift the town the following properties. 56 Brattleboro Road. The total tax on that property is $1,253.28, assessed at $65,100. It is a residential/agricultural district, roughly 1.5 acres. Taxes have been paid in full. 0 Fox Hill Road. Total tax on this property is $199.35, assessed at $5,700. Residential agricultural district, 11 acres. Taxes have been paid in full. And finally, 0 Brattleboro Road. Total tax on the property of $163.40, assessed at $9,900 in the Center Village District, 8.79 acres. Again, taxes have been paid in full. We've done some research, preliminary research, we pulled the maps and the deeds as well. This is early times for this particular offer to the town. There is a extended process that would ultimately bring us to the annual town meeting, presumably in 2025, to accept this property. So it's not something we would do tonight anyway. So my suggestion to the group would be that we allow the Select Board, the town administrator, to do some more research and further this conversation so we understand exactly what the impact is and whether the town is indeed interested in these properties.
I'll make a motion to table this subject till a further date, so we can do that research.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Next up, appointment of Patricia Byrne as backup Council on Aging van driver. I would entertain a motion to appoint Patricia Byrne as the backup Council on Aging van driver effective June 26, 2024, with a start date of June 27, 2024, at an hourly wage of $17.50 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Appointment of Jennifer Moore as Planning Board Clerk. I would entertain a motion to appoint Jennifer Moore as the Planning Board Clerk effective June 26, 2024, with a start date of July 1, 2024, at an hourly wage of $16.50 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any questions? If not, a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's good. Kringle Candle has requested a 2-day liquor license. I would entertain a motion to approve the 2-day liquor license for Kringle Candle Retail Store on 220 South Street in Bernardston for the sale of mixed drinks, champagne, beer, and wine on October 5th and October 6th, 2024 from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion about that?
This is just for their fall craft fair.
Craft
Yep.
area.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's good. Old business. Inland dredging grant update. The Executive Office of Economic Development, the so-called EOED, I'm sorry, received nearly $14 million in grant requests this year for dredging projects. This compares to a budget of only $4 million for awards. 14 million requests, 4 million awards. Therefore, we were notified that the Cushman Park dredging project grant application submitted by the town of Bernardston was not recommended for funding. Disappointing. We can see what happens. Notice of intent, inland dredging project Cushman Park update. As a refresher, approval was given on May 29th for the town administrator to contact Northeast Survey Consultants for quote to complete a notice of intent and submit proper permits to the Conservation Commission and DEP on behalf of the town. After several attempts by the town administrator, Northeast Survey Consultants has not responded to any of her requests. The town administrator has reached out to 3 other environmental consultants, Oxbow Associates, Davie Environmental Consulting Services, and Ty and Bond Environmental Consultants. So far, only one of the 3 has responded. The Highway Department Superintendent is concerned that we may be running out of time to dredge the brook by the end of the summer. Does the Select Board want to reconsider and authorize the town administrator to ask the Conservation Commission for an emergency authorization to dredge Cushman Park?
I'll make a motion to authorize the town administrator to ask the Conservation Commission for emergency authorization to dredge Cushman Park, as well as continue along the process with one of the agencies to work on the notice of intent.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Lastly, still waiting on Brandon / Tom and Megan. We'll ask Jane to come up, and as Finance Committee Chair, she has some year-end transfers to discuss with us and other miscellaneous items.
Oh, that's the other miscellaneous items that you're interested in. isn't it?
Probably.
Well, I left those home.
Oh, darn.
No, I didn't. This is just the first wave of transfers, because I already have a couple home that came in after our Monday night meeting.
Okay.
So this first one is to transfer from the Kiwanis Recreation Fund, the $1,500 that was used to work on the dugouts, to back to the Highway Department. He purchased supplies, Brian,
Minor.
purchased supplies for more than one project. So if you look at the attached invoices,
You gotta pull out the one piece that it is.
or parts of one piece.
Yeah.
So it's a little confusing, but
Okay.
that's why we had to do it with a transfer rather than directly to that
the-
You have
account.
to vote these all individually, Jane?
Well, you have to sign everyone.
So we should-
While you're signing out,
Okay, read the next one.
can you sign and
Sure.
You
listen?
want us to multitask?
I think
Yes,
we
I
know
do.
most of them aren't coming at us.
Yep.
This next one is transferring, because the town hall general expense account got overexpended considerably. This is to move $500 from the IT account into that account. And then, oops,
Okay.
and then this last one is to move $1,500 from the computer replacement account into that account. And Karen and I had a long discussion about some of the charges that got put into the general expense that should have gone other places, so next year she'll know what she's
Okay.
doing.
It's part of the learning curve.
Part of the training, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what's today?
Today is the 26th. All day.
Do you want copies of these back for your files?
Yes,
Yeah, for our
please.
minutes, yeah.
Did they vote on it, John? Do they have to vote on it then?
Yeah, you need to vote on approve, I mean, you signed it, but I think you need to take a
All right.
vote too.
We would, what?
Want to make the motion?
Oh, please,
Let's read
motion
it on
away.
here. I'll make a motion to transfer $1,500 to the town hall general expense from the town hall computer replacement fund.
You gonna do these separate or just all in one?
And I'll continue that motion, we'll do them all at once, to transfer $500 to the town hall general expense transferred from the town hall IT services account. And to transfer $1,500 from the highway general expenses, or to the highway general expenses, $1,500 from the Kiwanis Recreation Equipment Unrestricted Cash Fund.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I'm gonna let you write the date so I can keep talking. I sent you all copies of the
Yes.
information that I sent to our accountants with my questions. I didn't wait to get your questions to put in there, so if
No, that's a good start.
If
Yep.
you have questions, we'll need to get together and add those, but I was being pretty picky, I thought, so maybe I didn't. But I stopped when I got to the revolving accounts, because it was 20 minutes to midnight.
Ouch. You get paid overtime?
No, and that was not the first night that it was 20 minutes to midnight. And then I had to spend a whole day writing this email.
Yeah.
After examining all those accounts. And I stopped before doing the revolving funds and the special. So I will have another email with all my questions about
Thank
that.
you.
And before I send those, I'd like to sit down with you separately and
Okay.
see if you have an answer to some of those questions that I'm just missing. And then the other, and I didn't make copies of this, I should have. Then I went back through all the accounts. This is from 2 weeks ago. The report we got 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the
All of-
14th, right? Dated the 14th?
Yeah, the date of the 14th. All of the items that are on the minus side.
Yes.
And there aren't as many as you think. And here's why. Because we allowed each entity that has an account to subdivide their expenses if they wanted to. So they might not have subdivided it too accurately. So those subdivisions may be negative, but the total of the expenses is positive.
Got it.
So I needed to go through and do all of that mathematics. So that took quite a few of them out of the running for being on this list. However, I'm just going to run through these quick.
Go ahead.
Accounting, Markham's account it's over by $1,000. And I don't know why that is. My next step would be to ask for a detailed report on each one of these accounts so they can see who got paid what when and make sure it's not just a data entry error. But anyway, they're $1,000 in the hole. On the tree warden, there's an account for removal of trees, and that is $1,500 in the red if you look at the tree warden's account. But then if you look at the O2 accounts, which is also a tree warden account, it's not charged there. The $1,500 is in the wrong place.
Right.
The O1s and the O2s did not get properly combined all through this process. And that's a discussion we need to have with Markham. It's too confusing for our people and not fair. The same goes for this next one.
The O1s are
The O1s
fiscal
are the,
each year. The O2s are the carryover account?
Carryover accounts. Right, okay, yeah. And, okay. And we never used to separate them that way.
So the error is a wash in this case, the tree warden's account. But, yeah, we need to find a way to correct that so it doesn't happen again.
Right, he shouldn't have to figure out whether he's charging it to an O1 or an O2 account, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the same thing goes for the BES capital. That is an O1 and an O2. And I think it'll come out in the wash. Then I was looking at highway, and I don't have it in the red here, but when I looked at the balance in that account and my questions that are on this other sheet, I have it on this list as a potential deficit.
Okay.
Snow and ice, that's showing a deficit of $8,000. But I've also asked Markham to correct their data entry error, because all year it's been carried, the expense amount was entered as payroll and vice versa. So when Brian put through payroll, it was being charged against the payroll account, which had the money for expenses in it. Confused?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they gotta fix that.
So he just gave me a transfer, to transfer the money, but...
Brian.
Brian. But I'm saying, no, Markham needs to fix the entry.
Posting, yeah.
The posting.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Markham says. But that, even with the switch, I think we're still $8,000 short in that account.
Okay.
That was a surprise when I calculated it more than once.
Is there a way to fix that?
Well, we may be able to offset it.
Okay. But that's going to require another finance committee meeting?
Maybe. Well, we've got one scheduled for
Okay.
just before the next warrant.
Okay.
The last warrant is scheduled for July 9th.
Okay.
I think is
Yes.
it the 9th? So we have a meeting set for the 7th.
Okay. That's really tight.
Well, then you're going to have to sign it. So if you don't have a meeting scheduled for the 9th, you're going to have a special meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Transfer station, again, that's going to have a deficit. Then I have a question. There's a $35 charge against veterans benefits. We didn't pay any veterans benefits this year that I know of.
It's got to be a misposting.
So I think that's an error.
You're going to request a detail on that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the library is a potential deficit because I think there was some money entered into that account that doesn't belong there. And they've used it.
Okay.
So again, I'm going to request detail on that. I mean, I found there's, you know how the accounts look. It's the budgeted amount and then it's the adjusted amount. And there's a difference I looked at all those too. And on library, there's a difference. And then when I look back at the document showing me all of the carryovers from the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
there's no amount there for that. And I don't think I missed it.
Okay.
Recreation, that looks like there are errors in both their O1 account and their revolving account. And
Okay.
we're going to have to ask for detail on both of those and try to sit down and figure it out. County assessments. There's $750 charged to the accounting program for the COG. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that's there, and I'll ask for the detail on that.
Is that just to have access to the system during the...
You did not budget for that
Okay.
in the COG. I believe, if I go back and listen to all your minutes, or read all your minutes, I will see where you voted to cover all of those expenses out of ARPA.
Oh,
I
okay.
think we did. At ARPA.
But that's not where it got charged.
Okay.
Employee bonds is over by $329.
Is that because of the,
Assistant.
It is because of the
Assistant
assistant, but I have to ask for detail on that account too, because we budgeted $1,000 for that account, knowing that we were going to be adding an assistant. So I think that we budgeted more than we were quoted. So why the whole 1,000 got used and then the 329 was on there?
doesn't make sense.
No, it's not making sense to me. Maybe it makes sense, but not in my head.
That didn't seem right.
There's charges to the fire station building account. Now I'm into the O2s. And I didn't think we spent anything out of that this year, so I'm just, some of these are just my personal,
lawyer
I can't
expenses.
remember. But I don't think the lawyer belongs in the lawyer account.
I'm just saying that's what I think was
It might be a
charged to
mis-
it.
yeah.
Was
Yeah.
Don.
So we'll
was
have to
lawyer.
move that.
Yeah.
If indeed that's what it turns out to be. Because I don't want to guess at these, I want
Right on.
the
Yeah.
detail. And then there's a charge, remember the used highway trucks we got a couple of years ago? And we left some money in case they didn't see all of the things that needed fixing as soon as we got them. There's still some money left in that account. But on this June 14th warrant, there was a charge to that account. And I don't know why at this point we should be charging anything to that account.
Was it when they got the sander for the wiring harness that they had to get for the truck? Because Brian had a conversation with you and I, Brian Minor,
But,
about using a little bit of that money to buy that wiring harness that was still there.
but why, he bought it in June?
Yeah, it's a
No,
little
we
late.
bought it in June, unless you just got the bill.
I don't know. I mean, it's,
Because that was when we were talking about that sander before you came on, right?
Yeah,
it was last winter.
more detail.
Yeah.
So we have it,
February, March.
I don't know. Anyway, if it hadn't shown up as being spent in the June 14th warrant, I wouldn't question it. But, you know, we've had that truck for over a year. And we need to, that's one of the accounts that you and I got to talk about, Brian. Board of Health and landfill testing. It has the full balance in there that was voted at last town meeting. And I know the testing was done, but it wasn't charged to that account.
Yeah, the bill definitely came.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It said 8,000 and change bill.
8,080. I found it today, but
Where was it charged?
another account was set up for it.
Oh.
So then I looked at the special report, this one. And on that, the Franklin County Home Care Exercise Grant is $1,400 in the red. And I don't know if that's a spend it and get reimbursed,
I think it is, but we'd have to verify that.
but we need to get the money in. If this 1,400 stays here,
That's our
and we
free
don't have
cash.
the proper documentation, it comes out of our free cash.
Yep.
Okay.
Same with the COA SIG grant, and I know this is reimbursable, but $23,904.
They are historically
Late.
late, 1 quarter.
Well,
late.
they're not late.
Well,
Their fiscal year is October to October. That's part of the problem with them. But we need to have the documentation that we have submitted for reimbursement. Then we don't have to include, if I understand this correctly.
okay. Would have been good to ask Jen when she was here, but
Well, I can ask Elizabeth too. And then there's a USDA radio grant cash, and I think this has got to be a bookkeeping error.
No, it should
It's
be-
that's the repeater.
It's on page 4.
Yeah.
It's on page 4 of this account. And then there's another reference to it on this account on page 26.
So let's mark them too.
And
That's a reimbursable
misposed.
grant.
yeah.
We're waiting for the last invoice and then we're gonna close that out. And we'll correct, that's a capital strategic, we'll close it out.
it's $66,000.
Yeah.
So I would hate to see $66,000 coming out of our free cash.
That'd kill us.
Yes, that's the USDA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a CDBG unrestricted cash, and that's $8,000, and I think that's either something I'm not understanding about their reports, or it's a bad entry area. Again, it's on page 4. And this
CDBG.
report, CDBG.
Community Development Block Grant.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
That's what it is.
Sorry, don't you love all these?
I know, I'll be back on this.
I tried.
I'll tell you a funny story about that one day. And it's on page 26 in this.
So another potential mispost.
Misposting or something that I don't understand about their way they're producing these reports.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't show up
Okay.
as a negative. That's how far I got with that.
That's a
All
lot.
right.
Any conversation at all with Elizabeth yet?
Elizabeth got
Or-
back to me this morning saying, I'll look at your email later today.
Okay.
And
late.
unless she has emailed me since I got here,
Yeah. She's working.
hasn't happened. I mean, there's a lot in here, and I did it just as you know, in chronological order. It would have been nicer if I had sorted it so that the things that were all the same kind of a transaction were together, but I didn't have time enough to do that, and then I thought, well, maybe chronological is the smartest way to go anyway. It made it easier for you guys to read.
Yeah, good.
I have one question. Do we wait to take action then if we have to do some kind of reclassing? Do we wait to hear back on this? Wait till you and Elizabeth finish your conversation, or?
You
No.
cannot reclassify this stuff unless you can prove
Right.
that you need to, which means you need to get detailed reports on all of these.
Okay.
So that's my next step, is to ask for detailed reports.
Okay. All right.
And I'm glad that come next year, we're going to have somebody in the office every week, because on the off week,
Then
it's
you can-
nice to be able to come in and sit down and face-to-face talk to somebody, not have
Clean it
to.
up early.
Well, when you have to go through everything and write a document and mail it off, you know, did I explain it well? Are they going to interpret what I wrote like what I think I said, you know?
Right.
And then you wait, and if you can just sit down over, you know, in the same room and say, hey, I got a problem with this, can we look at it? And they bring the whole thing up on the
Yeah,
screen.
she
and
has the
it's-
ability to go right in and
Right,
on screening. Yeah.
right. Not on any of these reports is that I would like us to have a discussion about what we'd like to see on these reports, the format, because 21 pages is ridiculous, and there's too much information that's printed redundantly for each account that I think there must be a way to get rid of, so we can cut that down, and unless we can bill Markham back for the overage on the copier. Alternatively,
Okay.
you pay for our copier. Okay.
Yeah, and we do. And that's
You
what
should put
caused
that-
the overage.
Should have put
in
that in
the-
the agreement, right?
Yeah.
The engagement letter.
Right.
I know, I know.
Speaking of engagement letters, the audit,
Yes, what
any
about?
update? Do you know of anything?
No, they have
Either one
not.
of
He's
you
still
heard?
writing it, Mr. Roselli, yeah. He'll have a
Should we be
closeout.
concerned that
No.
it's taking this long?
No,
No,
No?
no, I would expect it to take even longer
Yeah.
than
Okay.
this.
it's
So I'm
normal.
not,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And
When-
it's
when
not a
would you get
forensic
nervous?
audit, you know.
I understand, but
I did the forensic.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah.
When should we be concerned that we haven't received the audit? 3 months after the close?
I can call and check on it.
Yeah.
That's too easy, but
I don't think you need to.
Okay.
I would say if we
Give it
get
another
it
month?
September, October,
Okay.
October.
yeah.
All right, good. I don't remember the timing of the last audit.
Yeah, October, November is what I
Took a while.
would guess. If I didn't see it by then, I would be worried.
Okay. Deal.
All right.
So in your earlier part of this, you said you wanted to meet.
Do we need to set up a meeting?
Well, I have the finance committee set up for the 7th. Is that the meeting you meet? Oh, no, to meet with you.
The next select board meeting is the 10th, too, not
Yeah.
the 9th, just FYI.
And
But we'd have to
that's too late for
We'd have to
the,
sign that document by the 9th for transfers.
Correct. So do you want to meet on
Well,
this?
I don't know that we do. Let me press Susan on that, or Elizabeth on that, because we have until the 15th of July
that's
to
what I
do
thought, it
any
was 15 days
transfers.
after the
And
close.
they set up the last warrant to be that week, whatever the date is, the 9th or the 10th,
The 10th is the next SB meeting.
Yeah, so
which is a Wednesday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, they have it set up that everybody has to have their stuff in to the accountant by Tuesday morning to get onto the warrant.
Yep.
But we really have until the 15th. And so I would think that if we need to have another short warrant by then, we certainly should be able to have it. I mean, we'll do our best not to, but,
pretty common to have to.
well, and everybody in the world knows, that deals with towns, knows that you gotta get the invoice in time for the 15th. So
Yep.
for us to move it
There's always some late ones.
6 days earlier isn't
Not good.
Gotcha. helpful.
So our regular select board meeting will be fine for any, we don't need to schedule anything else.
I-
Not at this point.
At this
Let's-
point, we'll
let's-
wait and
I'm
hear.
I'm
Okay.
gonna check and make
All right.
sure, okay?
All right.
Did you have any questions about,
No, it's pretty clear.
No, I read through it. It was,
Yeah.
yeah. We appreciate the,
A lot of work.
I was reading it in my email during training today, just so you know, I didn't pay attention to some of the stuff the guy was telling me.
great, so now, let's see, what I don't want you
Oh,
to do.
okay.
Danny, could you explain to me about the piece about the library? I didn't quite understand.
Did you give me those?
there was some money put in one of your accounts that the library spent that doesn't necessarily belong to the library. I believe that's what she said.
Done an error.
Oh, but not on the library.
No.
Well, I don't think it's the library's error, no. Let me just look at it so I don't say anything wrong. So, so the budget that was voted at annual town meeting for the library included expenses of $19,975. When I look at this report, where it says original budget, that's the number I should see. It's not the number I see. So I think it's a data entry error.
Yeah, wouldn't be anything you guys did.
Okay, I just
Yep.
I didn't understand.
Yeah. However, let me see. Did I say you had used it?
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, you've used part of it. No, wait a minute. Well, it depends what goes through tonight. As of the 14th of June, you hadn't used any of it. But you were within $49 of it.
Yeah, you'll be into a little
So,
bit
you know, you got whatever expenses are on tonight's warrant
then. There was some.
and any for next week that you thought you had money for, and maybe you don't. It's not, don't worry about it. Don't lose any
Yeah.
sleep over it. We'll figure it out, but it's just one of those things that,
There was one in the warrant tonight, but I forget the value.
Right.
for the
Yeah.
library.
it's probably payroll.
She was buying some books.
Yeah.
Oh, but that might have come out of one of the
A different account.
special accounts, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you very much for that.
I'm very pleased with the vote yesterday, and thank you, all the people of Bernardston, for approving that. And I have been in touch with Susan about what our next steps are, and also with Pete. I was gonna go down there tonight, but he said we're having a working bee,
Okay.
so I'd rather not do it tonight.
They also took off on their trucks, so they may have,
Yeah, well,
the sirens going. Susan did come to the select board, just to
Updated thing, yeah.
give
She
us an
told me you
update
guys
on the
talked about it.
process. And she's talked about a green letter
Yes,
that has to happen, and that's just certification that we did everything right. And we
Right.
get this green letter back from the lawyers saying, yep, it's all good. And then we can go to the process of bidding out the loan. It could be a very close timing issue because we have until August 1st to put a down payment on the vehicle, so we get the discount on the vehicle. And to get from here today through August 1st, to get all the
I know.
process through, Susan was a little concerned that we need.
that's why I went to her today, as soon as I knew the vote had passed, because I knew we had time. Yeah, that green light letter is gonna cost $3,200.
Yes.
That's the
She told-
estimates today, and then Unibank,
Has
that's
their
got a
fees,
fee,
$600.
and then we've got whatever the legal things are. So what, I told you this
Yes.
afternoon,
Yep.
but I probably should say it now.
Go ahead.
What I would like to do, because we did not budget anything to cover the legal expenses for getting this loan. So what I would like to do is be able to have all of this information and have you request a transfer from the reserve fund out of this 24
Yep.
budget to be put in.
It's good, but we don't know the amounts, do we? We're pretty sure.
Well, I
3,200
know
to
it's
650.
3,200. I know the Unibank for the first year is probably going to charge $650. I don't know what the legal revisions
That's the
will
one I don't know.
cost.
Yeah.
And I figured the first year interest at 4% would be about $39,480.
She said it was going to be higher than that, so somewhere in the 45,000 range.
Oh, was it more
Yeah.
than 4% she's calculating?
4 point something.
Leiden just got for 625,000 was 4.65.
Oh, I just used 4%.
It's a big chunk of money.
So, given all of that,
You said transfer from the reserve fund, Jane, is that what you said?
yeah, they can request it, then I gotta convince well, I'm gonna check with Elizabeth to make sure that she doesn't see a problem with doing that. We do have an account called, long-term interest or something like that. Under the treasurer. Oh, I'm not seeing it right quickly. But anyway.
She covered the mic.
Oh, did I do that again?
She does that pretty intentional sometimes.
Still want you to have to worry about it.
So anyway, there is an account in here for long-term interest, and I thought that maybe that's the account that it could go into. She may have other ideas.
Okay. She being Susan.
No, she being Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
But I think we have to have the accountant in on this discussion too.
Okay.
So,
I have until July 6th for that, July 5th,
all right.
and she's gone.
Oh, she's
Susan's gone.
she's going on vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Did the microphone pick that up?
Yeah, it's
No,
gonna be,
I hope
it's gonna be very tight. To Ken's point earlier, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only way I can think of to cover all of that. I mean.
I'm okay with the
when-
votes, but except for the attorney's fees, I don't have any idea how we can.
Well, we
authorize
also
that.
we could also say that we're not gonna include these attorney's fees here.
Okay.
We have an account for
They would fall
attorney's
into
fees.
FY25.
Yeah. Unless we unless we ask her, what are you gonna charge it? Or are we gonna
Yeah.
who are we gonna use? Are we gonna use a specialty accountant for this? Or our general
Lawyer.
attorney?
Lawyer, yeah. Open to suggestions, but
Yeah, I defer to Sue to that. She would know what's gonna make it easier.
Yeah,
she's worked with somebody in her role in Leiden.
right.
She might have somebody that.
She deals with
Well,
some of
and
these-
comfortable.
Leiden does have the same attorney that we have, so she would
Oh,
know.
Okay. That's right, too. She uses Donna.
So she would know if Leiden Yes, she's got it.
She might have a ballpark figure for that fee too. So,
Okay. Not to
Maybe.
exceed number, something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for all that.
Okay, Karen Fitzpatrick will,
Stand in for
yes.
Brandon?
Did you? You didn't.
Come on up.
I don't know how I got through.
This is good. All right.
We're
So
attached to,
we had an appointment scheduled with Brandon Grover, who is president of the Cushman Library Board of Trustees, but we have Karen Fitzpatrick, pinch hitting.
I'm
in
pitch
his-
hitting.
Go ahead, pinch
Flying
away.
by the seat of my pants. I texted Brandon. He's unfortunately unable to make, something came up. He's not
That's fine.
able to make it tonight. But the reason why we were going to be here was because the full Board of Trustees met recently, and we really want to give bonuses to our interim librarian for all the work she did, and also for the two library assistants that were so helpful during this whole transition.
Yep.
We felt it was the right thing to do. So Joel Fennell, who is our treasurer, and we're so happy to have him on the board because he's an actual accountant, he and Brandon went through the numbers, and this is what Brandon asked me to present. We'd like to give our assistant librarian a bonus of $1,320, and our two library assistants $200 apiece. That would be coming out of payroll for a total of $1,720. Joel went through the budget and he said that we had the money for it. As you all know, we haven't been paying for a librarian for quite some time, so we do have the money in payroll to use.
And Peggy has been doing the job.
Oh, she's been doing the
And
job.
we even asked her too at the beginning
Yep.
to take more money, and she says, no, I'm happy with where I am, so.
Yeah,
She loves the
we were not
library.
comfortable with that way back then.
Right.
I know, so we're asking for her. It's the right thing to do.
And it all falls within your budget
It all
stuff.
falls within the payroll, so.
You need a motion for the select board to approve that?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to give the library assistant a one-time bonus of $1,320, and the two,
They're
are they also
also
called
assistants.
assistants?
The interim librarian.
Interim
is Peggy.
librarian,
Yeah.
$1,320, and the two assistants, $200
Yep.
each. One time.
I would second that motion. So, discussion.
I thought if it was within their, well, I guess it doesn't matter if it's,
What's that?
I'm just trying to remember, if it's within the payroll, I didn't think it needed to be, like, that's their budget, like they can, whether they hire a librarian at,
Yep.
as long as they're within their budget, they hire at $50 or $10, as long as they're within their
I
budget.
think they're just looking for a formal okay
So I
from
don't
us
know
too.
if that is really necessary.
It might not be.
But
Yeah, it
I
might not
just,
be.
I wasn't sure if that was even necessary, but
We wanted your blessing.
Okay, well, we'll bless it.
yeah, yeah,
All those in
absolutely.
favor?
Aye.
And they have done a super job, really,
Oh,
as has
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
Beyond a super job.
Yeah.
very tough situation you guys were
Yeah.
all in, and
Yeah.
everybody stepped in and
Yeah, it's
got
turned
that place
out-
back opened up pretty quick.
Yeah, it looks
I was
great.
in there
It sure does.
Saturday and it still looks gorgeous. It's,
The town thanks you all for that
Yes.
very much, really.
Well, thank you.
Thank
and
you, thanks for hanging in
The
there.
other, I thought Brandon was gonna tell us,
Brandon's gonna,
Yeah.
he's, Brandon and/or Joel, no, not Joel, Justin
Justin.
Lawrence are gonna come on the 10th of July and bring the new librarian, introduce
Okay.
her,
so I
appoint
thought
her.
she started on
She's not
July
gonna start
1st.
till 1 August. There's-
August.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good,
So we
got
have, we
time.
have time.
Great,
So-
thank you.
But Brandon's just gonna tell you all that, like
Okay.
what I just said.
That's
And then
what I thought it
ask
was too.
specifically about Peggy and the library
All
assistants
right,
tonight.
well, thank you for pinch hitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did fine.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Karen.
All right,
All right.
bye-bye.
We have these two fine gentlemen still here.
Yeah, come on up and just tell us what's
Give
going
us,
on.
yeah, give us an update. So Mataversa, Tom
Mataversa and
Newton
Tom
giving
Newton.
us an update on
on the pond project.
Okay.
I was hoping that Megan and Tom Sullivan would be here, but I guess Megan's on vacation, and Tom said he can't do anything without her.
Okay.
approval. I had gotten an email from him saying that Megan had, she just wanted to make sure that the town was on board and that kind of thing before they started, making any grants to us. But I met with Tom, and we walked the perimeter of the pond and kind of had he gave me some ideas, so I can pass that on. And I had hoped that the folks from the library would be here, because we invited them as well, because they're right next door, right? And we want to make sure everybody will be on board with this. But what Tom Sullivan said to me was that he would like to do it in 3 sections. The first section would be the part near the library, because that's the easiest, there's not as much of a grade. But he was saying that if they he wants to put in like elderberry bushes and blueberry bushes, so people could pick them to, as well. And they would also be fairly low maintenance. He said probably just a couple of times a year, just maybe some pruning and things like that. They're aware that we need low maintenance. So he said, the way now, when we were looking at it, the town has to mow, is to go right down practically into the pond.
Yep.
This would not, he would take that and like terrace it so that they wouldn't have that problem. They would just be able to do the straight parts. So the first part would be the part near the library. The second part, I think he said, would be the part nearest the parking lot for the senior center, because the other side is the steepest. And the biggest problem, he said, with that would be, making sure that they were able to do it so that it could be maintained, so that you can get in there and do whatever you need to do. So he was thinking 3 steps. We were going to try to get he had taken some, Tom Newton's grandson had taken some drone pictures. And he was, looking for some more to be, the closest to, because he wanted to make sure that they didn't hit the sidewalk or anything like that. He wanted to make that place nice, but that would be the first place they would start. But again, he's aware of the low maintenance, and he said, because like I said, when we looked at it, when you get to a certain point, the guys have to mow straight down into the pond. And he said this would take care of that, because that will all be, pollinators and shrubs. And then they would just have the flat parts that they would have to worry about.
So what I'd like to see,
What I would like to see too.
is some either drawings
Numbers,
or
yeah.
pictures that
Well, that's why I say
would
they were
clarify
supposed
where
to-
it's going,
That's
what's
what we
going
were
where.
hoping.
That's why we
Would
were
show
hoping
up.
that they would come.
We'd also have to get Brian Miner
Yeah. That's the
involved,
key, yeah.
so that, because they're charged with the maintenance of that area.
Right.
And it really is difficult to mow as close as you're talking
Yes.
about to the pond itself. That water level changes dramatically as to how far up the bank the water goes.
And we were looking at that, like I said, but he said it would be, they are really on board with this. They really want to see this happen, because they think it'll be good. The Franklin County Conservation District really would like to do this project, because they said it's a big project. It will be, environmentally a big deal too.
Who's gonna pay for it?
We're gonna try to get grants. They're gonna be getting grants from us. I know that there's a grant, or, like I said, once we get this thing going, there's a grant that's already been sort of approved by Megan to do the layout. So that will, because Tom Sullivan is going to be doing that. So when he gets the go-ahead from Megan, he can start that. But like I said, he's already got some ideas, and he was saying, like I say, shrubs that are not gonna be a big deal for maintenance.
Great.
He thinks he can secure money for that too.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. We're
Well-
trying to make it so that there's no
That's
cost
no-
to the
right.
town.
Before we burden either Megan, Tom, anybody, I'd love to see the pictures, the drawings,
Right.
whatever else,
Yep.
so we can
And then
say,
come back with
this
it.
makes perfect sense, go ahead with it.
I'm wondering if, and I'll talk to Tom, maybe he can at least even email you guys something that you can look at if we, until
be
we
great.
get him here, because we were hoping that he and Megan would be here tonight, because they can answer all your questions. And like I said, all I can do is kind of update you. But what I might do is, like I said, suggest that he email you guys something. I have Karen's
Yeah.
email and things like that, so And I think Megan is on vacation, because I said, you know,
Yeah, I
he
thought they
asked
were
me-
physically coming, that's why
Yeah.
they were on the agenda tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
Then we can
Okay.
share those pictures with the library as well. as-
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Very
All right.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for hearing us again.
Thanks for all the work.
No problem,
Really.
thanks.
It's gonna be
We'll
great.
Keep coming
going.
back until we
there.
get this
We'll
going.
get there.
I think it's gonna be it's gonna be beautiful from the way
Yeah,
he,
I
it'll
agree.
get there.
you know, and I think it'll help the town as well.
Appreciate
With
all the work,
maintenance.
guys.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
you.
much.
All right. Next up, the town administrator report.
All right. So the FERCog board vacancies came out this week, and it's that time of year again. The elections are over, and municipalities are have reorganized their select boards. So the FERCog is listing the following vacancies on some of their boards, and the first one is the FERCog Regional Planning Board Selectman's appointee. It was formerly filled by Stan. This is the Regional Planning Board Selectman's appointee. The next one is the FERCog Council Representative. That's one you're on, but there's also an alternate position, and
And that's
Rebecca
what I
had
was
said
before. Yeah.
right. So Rebecca said sometimes they can fill it with another selectman or a town administrator to be an alternate. And then the third one was FERCog Franklin County Community Inspection Program. That was vacated by Bob Raymond and has never been filled. So those are three vacancies, and just wanted to bring that to your attention. Maybe you can think about that if you want.
Do you know when they all meet, by chance?
It is on their website, and it's it's like twice a year for the, you know, I should have had that information. I'll get that to you,
Okay.
but I think it's minimal. I think the planning board might be once a quarter. That's the most anyone would meet. But I'll send you the criteria for each
That'd be
board.
great.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, and then if you go to tab 1, a
How do I-
routine inspection was done for compliance with the Massachusetts Department of Public Health's recreation camp for children. That's, you know, our summer camp permit process. 105 CMR 430.103. It occurred at the facilities in the ground at Bernardston Elementary School on June 20th. And this inspection revealed the following violations of the playground, athletic equipment, and the facilities. And it's not going to stop the camp, it's nothing like that, but just to bring it to your attention. It was cited that the play structure walking bridge is in disrepair. The bridge is sagging, as we already know about the playground equipment, and the area has been partially blocked from entry. The play structure is missing a swing ring at the monkey bar climber, and the wood chip area surrounding the perimeter has many missing screws, or screws that are protruding. And the outdoor classroom pergola has a bench leg that is in disrepair. Also, it was observed that the Bernardston Elementary School does not have an occupancy permit. So I sent out an email to Jim Hawkins on that, and we'll see what's going on. And then I did talk to Peter Shedd yesterday, because he was here all day, and he said it might be smart for us to make sure all our town buildings have the proper occupancy permits. So I'm going to talk to Jim Hawkins about that. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention what the results of the report was.
Did you let the school district know they don't have an occupancy?
I sent Gretchen an email, and she's on vacation. She won't be, I got an out of office, but,
I'd send it to
Jordan.
Jordan.
okay.
That's who she
I didn't know if
reports
it fell on us or the school,
Well,
yeah. But I'll
they're
let,
leasing the building from us, so all that stuff is their
Sure.
responsibility.
all right.
And some of these things that are mentioned in the play structure, they were gonna take care of,
Yeah,
because they
yes,
mentioned the missing swing
Yes.
during our last meeting, I think, right?
to. Yeah.
yes. But I just want, again, it's not a showstopper for camp,
Yep.
but it just kind of came up again, you know?
And the chips, that was on the list.
Yes.
No, I mean, it was on the list at our last meeting.
Yeah, but it's on Gretchen's list to do work on the chips this summer too, though, I think. But
Yep.
it just hasn't happened yet.
Right,
All right,
Okay.
and
Well, school just barely ended.
right,
Right.
right, yeah.
it's just the perfect storm, but I just wanted you to know that that was out there. And then I sent Brian Hervey, I sent you and Jody, there's a
Yes.
flag. Oh, did you guys track? Okay.
I haven't gotten
Okay.
in touch with Jody. I tried to call him. Yeah.
No worries. And if I had to pick up, I
Responded
would go take care of it. But
What is the problem?
there, a gamut, one of the flags by, street flag on 62 South Street area is hanging by one gamut.
Yeah, I did see that.
Even
Grommet,
that Monday
Grommet.
night, and in fact, when he left the meeting, he went in that direction.
Oh, he might.
I know, I didn't notice it today, so it might be fixed.
He may
Oh,
have-
good,
he may
because a
have
couple,
made that up
people were
or-
coming voting, so people came and
It
let
might
us
be.
know that that was happening.
I'll check on
I
my
did
own.
notice a flag and gamut are missing completely.
Oh,
Yeah, that was early on too,
South
right?
Street, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was relatively early on.
yes, I saw that, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about, but that's fixed too. Yeah, all right. Okay, and the town clerk's office did get notice from DLM, Division of Local Mandate. They were reimbursed for $2,717.90. That included the reimbursement of all the expenses to the drop box. The postage for the vote by mail was reimbursed, and extra hours that for labor for the poll workers. So we
So
got-
that money has to go back into ARPA.
it goes into general fund. No, it goes back into the general fund.
Yes?
General fund.
Okay.
We've had this discussion with them ever since they started reimbursing for any election stuff.
Yeah, we can't even offset the town clerk's account with it.
No, it's really tough, yeah. And then I did mention this already, but Brian heard, you were not here, but you have a packet of highway operations and maintenance department job descriptions to just look at them and review and provide your edits, and
Looks
I'll
like
grab
this.
them back.
Yeah, I got it.
Get that, yeah. And I just, again, I'll be out of office tomorrow. I'll be in Boylston for a small town administrators meeting. I'll be back here in the office about 1:30 tomorrow. Yeah, so it's my first one to see some of the, anyway, so,
Yeah, it should be good.
yeah, it'll be good.
There is a great Italian,
And, yeah, I don't know where we're going, but.
okay. Oh,
And then lastly, I'm gonna be on I'll be on vacation next week as a friendly reminder. I'll be in town, so, and I.
1, 2, and 3, the 4th, the whole town is closed.
Right.
The 5th, we always have Friday off.
Right, but I just wanted to say that.
Okay, good.
As a reminder.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I have a question that comes under other business unknown at time. Peat shed,
Yes.
6:30 is coming. Have we got any word? Stan asked
Actually,
me
Natalie
today.
Blaze called me.
Yeah? Oh.
Actually called the office. She called about something else. And
Okay.
then but she had seen my email because Corinne is her assistant. And they're just gonna, it's sitting with the Senate, on the Senate side of this. So,
May I?
yes, ma'am.
Pete told me yesterday that it's on the governor's desk,
Oh, good.
Really?
So he knows more than I do. Good.
Huh.
so I don't know. I mean,
Good.
that's what he told me.
Jane, if it doesn't happen before 6:30, because we can't pay him till that's signed. Payroll's not something normally that can transfer over to a year, right? Or is it?
I don't know, perhaps we can encumber it.
Just think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
if it doesn't happen.
What do you need to encumber it?
Just a notice to the accountant that we need to encumber X number of dollars in this account for this reason.
Oh, okay.
So we should figure that number out.
I don't know what it would be at all, but I'll try and figure it
Have to go
out.
back. to
Well,
the
it's his stipend for
Yeah,
one,
it'll be whatever
and
hasn't
I
been-
don't know what the hours would be, he'd have to.
Whatever hasn't
Yeah.
been paid out year to date, because he's on a stipend.
Okay. Should I get with Pete about it?
And
Yeah.
you don't need a vote from us to do that? To encumber?
No,
Okay, good.
but you have to, the accountant is not going to approve an encumbrance unless you have proper documentation. So if you say, I ordered $100 worth of supplies from Staples and the invoice hasn't come yet, please encumber $100. If you don't have an order form to go with that,
Yep.
she's not going to encumber it.
So we need timesheets for him, or what would be the documentation for that, for Peter?
Maybe the stuff that's gone to the governor to be signed for the exemption,
Yeah.
along with the fact that we
Timesheets.
haven't been able to pay him because of that. Because he had to be a volunteer chief.
So, but that one, I don't know how, he has a stipend, and I don't even know, maybe we
Oh, I
could still
see.
pay
Not a
the stipend.
timesheet, sorry, yeah.
But then, if he's out, when they go on a call, then they all get hourly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
You'll
when
have to
they're
give you
doing
that.
training, they get a lower hourly.
Yep,
I'll just go over
That's
with,
what I
yeah, I'll go over with him and.
and Susan.
I mean, let's hope it's signed quick enough and we can do it normal.
See, now when does this
Then it's
need to be
easy.
done?
Yeah.
would- but you know,
Before June 30?
Well, it's not gonna be done before June 30th.
You got 4 days, right?
But she's not here
3.
tomorrow,
Nice.
she just told us, and she's not here next week.
3 days, really.
Can someone else take care of it, or, I don't know?
What?
Peter, to figure out Peter's to figure out the amount that we would need to encumber for Mr.
Well,
Shed.
Peter needs to give you the hours.
But yeah, okay.
Have him,
Actually, you know,
Work
I'm
with Susan.
guessing, but Pete must be the one that submits the payroll for it.
And I believe
Fire department.
we told him a long time ago.
Keep
when
track.
To keep track of it. So
Yes, we
I'll
did.
just have I'll get in touch with him tomorrow.
And we probably have until the 15th to do that encumbrance too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Actually, you can even do that a little bit beyond
don't
Okay,
tell
so we
us
got
that.
time.
Because that'll keep the pressure on.
Because I've never done,
But he should have that info.
okay, yeah, I will get with Mr. Shed.
Because we did tell him that, you're right.
Yep,
We did tell him.
Yep.
I
Yes,
remember
we
that.
did.
Keep track.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
it's
good.
the only way we're gonna, because we do
All right,
need the
good.
documentation.
All right, that's it. Sounds good.
Anything else for this evening? If not, I would,
I'll make a motion the meeting be adjourned.
I'd
Oh,
like to say
oh,
something.
go ahead.
yes,
I'll take that
anything else.
back.
Go ahead.
Tom Newton.
Yeah?
Since this is a public meeting, it's very difficult for the public in the back here to hear what's going on when you have a presenter like Jane talking, most of what she's saying. Matt and I were here. We could hardly understand what's going on.
Okay,
Can we come up with a plan, or not necessarily a plan, but a setup? Whether, say, Jane sits at the corner of the table and faces you, can we turn the table so that the presenter is over here so that more of us can hear? I have a hearing deficit. I know you don't see my face here that much, but I'll speak for anybody else that has a hearing problem, and Matt did as well. We can't hear the people that are here. And your information is important to all of us.
Yep.
We'd
sure
like to
is.
hear it.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation with Tyler, who's the audio-visual specialist. He works magic.
So,
Pressure now, buddy.
what can we do to
Improve
better
the-
situation?
I think it's important to point that out
Yeah.
immediately when it happens, like for us to be able to respond to it.
But other
Right
people
away.
would be reluctant and,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
somebody.
glad you're saying that.
No, that's not what she means.
That's what I'm
When
saying.
you couldn't hear what I was saying.
You should have said
you should have
something.
interrupted and
Yeah,
said,
that's what I'm saying.
And Jane, speak
It's
louder.
not only you, Jane.
I know, but-
All the meetings that I come to, it's the same thing
Ah,
with
okay.
everyone. With a hearing deficit problem such as many of us have, part of it is understanding your lips.
Yep.
We can't.
Can't with their back to you.
If
Ah,
you don't
yeah.
talk to your wife with your back to her, right? The other way, at my own peril, right?
Careful.
Yes.
We will
Okay.
come up with something.
Gonna get me in
for
trouble.
sure.
So I think you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It is a problem.
Absolutely,
for many
I
of
get
us. And like I say, lip reading is all part of our
We
problem.
will take that into consideration and
Good
drag
comment.
Tyler in and see what we can do.
If we
to-
put a big mirror on that wall.
It's part of the ADA
Upside down and backwards,
But
right?
anyway,
Thank you for that, though, really.
No,
Yeah.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Actually,
I'm just teasing.
don't you have a feed, Tyler, to this thing?
That's a TV, Ken.
It would be a delay.
No, but it's more than a TV, it's a
Significant delay.
computer.
Right?
There's a number of things that we could figure out.
All right,
Okay,
we'll
good.
figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
We will
Yeah.
take it
And we'll
under
publish
advisement.
Think about it.
Discuss and figure out what's
Okay.
needed. and
So we have a
whatnot.
motion and we have a second. All in,
To adjourn.
To adjourn.
Sure.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.